you ever like get off the freeway or stop at a red light and you're right next to a homeless person with a sign, right? And you're like, wow, how could they be out? How could they settle for this life? How could they just be on the street like this? You know, it's because they have an addiction to drugs or alcohol or both, right? And you're like, isn't it bad enough to be on the street and be homeless, to be dirty and not have a place to sleep when it's hot or cold? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, just like you wonder, how can they not see that their addiction is keeping them in this situation? And why don't they want to get out of it? But if you talk to homeless people, some of them might say, yeah, I want to get out of it, but I can't because I have these addictions. And then do you ever think, wait a minute, what about me? What about me? I'm in a situation, it's all relative. I'm in a situation that I don't like. I'm just over broke, living paycheck to paycheck, doing something I don't like to do. Or maybe I'd like to do the work, but I don't like having, 5 bosses and having to go to the office 3 days a week or whatever it is, 5 days a week, and settle for what they say that my time is worth. And I miss out on a lot of stuff I can't do because I'm at work or I'm working. Working takes 40 plus hours a week of my time. Do you ever think, why don't you get out of that situation? Well, what do you mean, Derek? What addictions do you have that are keeping you stuck? You have addictions too, probably. Now, they might not be drugs. Drugs are kind of an extreme addiction because they can literally have you on the street. There's other addictions where you're more functional. Functional meaning you can hold down a job, and since you can hold down a job, just over broke, or maybe you make okay money, but you're time broke. You don't have any time to do anything. When you're off, you're exhausted, right? You're working 50, 60 hours a week or more, and you're like, man, I'm stuck. And what are my addictions? My addictions are scrolling on social media or watching TV, streaming. That's the addiction. I drive rideshare and I see people in my back seat. Sometimes they're watching shows, or they're talking to each other. Hey man, I binge watched, Black Mirror or whatever show, right? I watched 5 episodes. Or people because they're watching episodes in my back seat, right? I can see they're watching programs. They're catching up, or they're watching a series right now. Imagine if you took all that time that you spend watching TV shows and or playing video games and or scrolling social media, scrolling TikTok, scrolling Reels, scrolling YouTube Shorts. You could get out of your situation just as much as a homeless person could get out of their situation if they got their addictions under control and quit doing that stuff. They quit doing drugs and or alcohol. They could get out of their situation. Just like you could get out of your situation if you stopped your addictions, which are scrolling social media and watching TV. Do you ever think about that? Think about it.